So here's a little project for your daughter for the beach days. A little sun hat. It's got an elastic, so it's a snuggy fit. And I'll let you know what the supplies are. They're pretty simple. I'm using 100% cotton fabrics. You can use two-tone, matching bow, and I'll be back with the supplies. I'm going to use Hello Kitty with some striped fabric. You want to cut 17 by 17. Basically put them together, fold it in half. Hope you can see. Fold it in half again. And what you're going to do is you're going to measure from the corner up 8 inches. And you're going to cut sort of like a half circle. I'll be back to show you. Okay, so what I did is, these are erasable markers. Use the iron to take it off. You mark off from the corner 8 inches all the way across, and then you're going to cut this out. Okay, so you're going to have 2 circles, and you're going to put right sides together. Okay, and you're going to sew 1/4 inch around the entire thing, leaving about 4 inches. Be right back. Okay, it should look something like this, real pretty. What you want to do is, the opening, of course, you're going to close by stitching down, and you're also gonna top stitch 1/8 of an inch all the way around, and I'll be back to give you the next step. Okay, so now that you top stitched all around, what you want to do is you want to measure 2.5 inches from the seam, from the top stitch up, and you're going to go all the way around 2.5 inches. Your next measurement is only going to be 1/2 inch. And what you're going to do is you're going to make that marking, and you're going to sew a casing for your elastic. And I'll come back to show you what it looks like. Alright, so I don't know if you can see. Take your marker, which can be removed with an iron, and go around 2.5 inches from the seam and 1/2 inch. And you're going to stitch all the way around. Okay, be back for the next step. Okay, so like I said, you're going to go in 2.5 inches from your seam, and then 1/2 inch, and you're going to sew all around a casing where you're going to slip in the elastic. You're going to carefully separate the top from the bottom and cut into it. I don't know if you can see that. And that's where you're going to slip in the elastic, 19-inch, 1/4 inch elastic. And I will show you, when I was saying about the marker, that it comes off with an iron. I don't know if you can see, it's still there. So what I do is I just turn on the iron, and it's gone. You see? I bought it on Amazon. Of course, everything's bought on Amazon. So like I said, be careful separating the top and bottom, and you're only going to put a little slit on the top portion where you're going to slide in your elastic. I'll be back. So once you finish inserting the elastic, it'll of course gather, and you just got to arrange it with your hand. The little slit you have here, we're going to add the bow as in this, and I'll show you how. I'll come back with the measurements. It actually is an 8 by 10 piece, and I'll show you how to fold it. Okay, it's actually an 8 by 9, and what you're going to do is you're going to fold it in half, okay, and you're going to sew all the way around. When you sew all the way around, you're going to cut a little slit on one layer, not through, just cut a slit to open it, so you'll be able to turn the fabric over, and I'll show you the last steps. Okay, now that you've sewn it all the way around, this is the folded edge. Just snip off the corners a bit, so when you turn the fabric over, you'll have nice sharp edges. So like I said, you're going to slice open. I want to do it this way because that's where we're going to tie the bow. just one layer. All you got to do is just put a little slit and then just make it a little wider. You're going to turn it over. Oh, this is taking so long. I don't have patience sometimes. Oy. My goodness. I'll be back when it's all over. Okay, so that's where your slit is. Don't worry about it, because when you scrunch it up, it's gonna hide. And it's gonna hide. Let's do this again. It's gonna hide. Why am I not being able to do this today? I'm just all thumbs. Okay, here we go. So there's your bow, and you're gonna take, I did it in this color so it stands out a little more. Grab some of the Hello Kitty fabric. You're gonna wrap it around. I'll show you how to do it towards the end. Just gonna grab a 3x3 piece. You're gonna fold it in half, finger press it, finger press the sides in and fold over, and this will be what you're going to wrap your little bow with. And I like to sew my bow onto the hat. Others like to hot glue it. I like to sew it on so you could just throw it in the wash and it's not going to come apart. And I will come back with the finished piece. So this is, I like to hand sew the little piece there. And you're going to look for where you put that slit. Usually it's well hidden. You don't have to add the bow. Here's the little slit. And you're going to sew it on. Of course, you're going to fix that. And I'll be back to show you the results. And there's your result. Like I said, I like to hand sew it so you can throw it in the wash. Don't bleach. Let it air dry and low iron. This size will fit a 6-month-old all the way up to a year-old, or depending on the size of your baby, because sometimes we have these really giant babies and sometimes we have the teeny tiny babies. So, but there's a fun project for you. Nice little beach hat. Hope you had fun.